Привет, привет, друзья мои! Ужасная погода в Корнуолле и учим русский язык. Absolutely miserable weather in Cornwall today, learning Russian, of course, and we continue our lessons about cases. Okay, so today we will have a look at prepositional case. So those who are following me or who would like to learn more about cases, I really recommend to watch my previous videos. The first video about genders, then we spoke about cases, and we already know what accusative case is, and that's the first case we looked at. And today we look at prepositional case. All straightforward. Why it is called prepositional? Because it needs preposition in front. Let's look at variety of endings. For majority of nouns, for singular, it will be ye ending. So let's have a look. Guitarra, first type, feminine, yeah, ending on a. So what we do? We take the stem without the ending and we add ye at the end. Therefore, guitarra is a nominative, the guitar, на гитаре, prepositional case, when we want to say that we are playing the guitar. Итак, we have preposition на, we are playing on top of the instrument, that's why we use the preposition на, and we add that ye, we change a into ye, because we need to put it in the correct case. На гитаре, therefore. Okay. Next one, please. Поезд, masculine, second type of nouns. We don't have any vowels at the end, so all we do, add ye at the end. Therefore, if you want to say you are in the train, you say в поезде. В preposition, when we want to say something inside something, and ye at the end, because we need to use here prepositional case. This is our location. Okay. Next one, море, neuter, so second type again of nouns. And because we already have here, we don't add the second one. So therefore, if you want to say in the sea, we will just say в море. Okay. Окно, neuter again. We have a vowel here. What do we do with that? We need only the stem. So basically, we need a word until this consonant. Get rid of O and add ye in the end for prepositional case. We have here в окне. Okay, in the window. Next word, ночь. That's third type of nouns, feminine nouns. Therefore, will be a little bit different when we want to say about the night. We would say о ночи. So this is a little bit tricky. This is one more variety that we've got here, и at the end. The same happens with words which are traditionally borrowings. Normally countries. Англия, Россия, Италия, Испания, Франция, and so on and so forth. Words such as информация, экскурсия, so-called words ending on tion, sion. Okay, so they are all borrowings. Subjects, for example, биология, химия, geography, and other. So when we are talking about these words ending on ia, for prepositional case, we need to put double e, ii. Therefore, Англия в Англии. Информация об информации. Биология на биологии. Хорошо. Okay, let's move to plural, please. Plural, the ending will be ах or ях. depending on the last vowel. So let's have a look. Очки, glasses. Да? So if I would say that I am in the glasses, I would say я в очках. So again, same logic. We cut off. We need a stem only. Да? И shows us that this word is plural. Да? Glasses, the same as in English. Да? Get rid of that и, put ах at the end. We have now prepositional case. В очках. Хорошо. Next word. Друзья. Friends. Because we already have this я that we can use, we keep it. Very similar to how we did with море. Да? We have ye, да? We don't get rid of it anymore. So друзья, and about friends, we would say о друзьях. So we keep я, it's useful, and just add ах, х, да? At the end. Хорошо. Hope that's okay. You can always use this little table to remind you all those endings. I do recommend to have it handy, particularly in the beginning when you are just learning, to double check that. So prepositional, as I said, first type, feminine, masculine nouns ending on aya, ye ending. Second type, masculine, neuter, ye again. Third one, the one ending on soft sign, feminine only, и, and plural ах, ях. I also included some prepositions that we use for prepositional case, so it's easier for you to use this table. Let's come back to the main presentation. So when do we use prepositional case? Let's look at some situations when we need prepositional case. So first of all, location. If we are somewhere stationary, we use prepositional case. That's probably 70% of scenarios when you use prepositional case. Very, very often we use it. Итак, for instance, я живу в Корнуэле. Let's have a look. Cornwall, masculine. So all I did, I add ye in the end. Okay? Я живу в Корнуэле. I live in Cornwall. Хорошо. I study at school. Я учусь в школе. Again, школа feminine. Nah, I got rid of a, like in this example, and put ye in the end. В школе. Я гуляю на пляже. I'm walking at the beach. Again, ye at the end. На пляже. Now, many people ask me what's the difference between в and на prepositions. В we use when we want to say a preposition with the word which has borders. No, for example, County Cornwall definitely has borders. That's why I use preposition в. Школа, same thing. Пляж, it's a natural, and therefore there are no borders as such. It could be high tide, those who live in Cornwall, or it could be low tide, so we don't know where are those borders of the beach. So на пляже. В море you can the same say на море, meaning at the coast, at the seaside in general, whilst we say в море when we want to underline we are inside the sea, we are swimming in the sea, for example. Okay, so that's the difference in terms of prepositions. So my next example, я плаваю в море, I swim in the sea. Now, don't mix it all up when we speak about location with verbs of motion. We learned with you at our previous session, do watch the video, about using verbs of motion with places. So for instance, if you want to say, I'm going to London, I'm going to Moscow, you are not there yet. It's your destination. You are moving towards those places. Therefore, it will be accusative. Я еду в Лондон. Я еду в Москву. Be careful. Think about that when you use them. And think about the difference between prepositional case and accusative case. When we speak about prepositional case, we speak about our current location. We're stationary. We're at this place. Okay? Хорошо. Talking about location, we need to speak about short words. Occasionally, some people may refer it to as locative case. But strictly speaking, it's the same prepositional case. We just word it a little bit differently. Why? Because we use u in the end. Sometimes some people would call them exceptions, but they are not. Because when we speak prepositional, when we use prepositional case with the same words, we can use ye. When we want to say about the garden, о саде, that will be ye in the end. But when we use those short words in the meaning of locative case, in the meaning of location, we use u in the end. So here are some examples. В саду, в аэропорту, в шкафу. Again, that's all places. They have borders. It's inside that. But на полу, на лугу. Пол, floor, да? So на something flat. В inside. Хорошо, that's the difference. Whilst we started speaking about this difference between locative and prepositional case, and we speak about some other words, that those words we can use with prepositional case having ye at the end. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we use prepositional case to say about them, or therefore, when I said the word sad could be used in both scenarios with different prepositions, what I mean by that? О саде means about the garden, and that's why I use ye, о саде. But when I mean location, garden is my location, I say в саду. Okay. Хорошо. Let's move on. When else we can use о? Это книга о природе. This book is about nature. Again, природа, да, е at the end. Этот фильм об охоте, about hunting. Mind you, if the word starts on the vowel, we can't say о охоте. It's hard for us. It's very similar to English an apple. Apple, yeah? Pronunciation-wise, it's quite uncomfortable for us to say it. Therefore, we dilute it with a consonant b. An apple. Об охоте. Similar scenarios. Хорошо. Another variation of preposition о is оба. When we use it, when we have the next word starts on two consonants. Всем, like here. Обо всем. You might ask me, why is it всем? Because in this case, it is not a noun. Those stories are about everything. Okay? Also a little bit rare scenario maybe, but still we use preposition pre, normally during or in presence of someone, при разговоре, like here. No, it's not very often, so I won't stop on it for too long. Let's sum it up. We use prepositional case with location, with preposition about, Now we need to look at a few more. So with some musical instrument, again in the meaning of location, I would say that we use this preposition на, because we play on the top of the instrument. Я играю на гитаре. I'm playing the guitar. I remember that because it's a little bit different than from English. So sometimes it could be tricky to remember that. But just remember that you play on top of the music of the musical instrument, and that's therefore we use preposition на, not в. So don't mix it with accusative case when we speak about playing games. For example, я играю в теннис. You are inside the game. You are moving around. It has to do with, again, a motion, да? And we use accusative case in this case. Yeah? Whilst я играю на гитаре, you are playing on the top of the instrument. Они играют на барабанах. This is the example of using plural word, да? Ах ending for prepositional case in plural. They play drums. Да? They play drums. На барабанах. Хорошо. Ну, when else we can use prepositional case? We use prepositional case with time. For example, let's say в начале, at the beginning, в конце, в январе, with months, for example, да, в детстве, in my childhood. So that kind of words, just remember that. Yeah? Also, we use prepositional case with clothes. Funny enough, what I always suggest to remember, you are almost clothes your location. You are inside your head, inside your coat, and therefore it's quite easy to use it because we can omit verb altogether here and just say он в костюме. He is in the suit. Она в платье. She is in a dress. Now, interestingly, the платье already ends on ye. Very similar example as with море. Нюта already ends on ye. Therefore, we don't need to do anything here. Она в платье. Хорошо. Мужчина в очках. Let's look at some plural options. A man in glasses. Очках. Женщина в туфлях. Туфли, shoes, the same as in English. They are already in plural because it's a pair, да? And therefore we have ях variation here. Just mind this variation туфлях. In shoes. Хорошо. Last two, we've got almost there. Well done, guys, for your patience. I hope it is useful. Now, let's look with points of compass. No, maybe we should have mentioned it when we spoke about location, but anyway, just remember, на севере, north, да, на юге, south, на востоке, east на западе, west, да? Again, everywhere here. So straightforward. I won't stop on that for too long. Let's move to the last scenario I want to show you today. We use prepositional case with vehicles and as means of transport. What do I mean by that? Ну, for example, you can say мы сидели в поезде. Here you mean that you are actually sitting in the train. Therefore, we use preposition в. The same prepositional case, ye at the end. Currently, it's your location. In the example, мы ехали на автобусе. Mind you, I use verb of motion. But I don't have any direction. Да? I'm not speaking about direction. I'm saying that I was going by bus. What is by will be exactly our prepositional case. I will use na preposition only, not v. V means inside, na means by. And I use the word bus, автобус, add е in the end. That's it. На автобусе, by bus. Another example, the same. Мы были в машине, we were in the car, meaning you were just, it's your location, you were inside the car, в машине. Versus, you can say, мы летели на самолете. In this case, I mean by plane. Yeah? I want to underline this is my means of transport. Therefore, I put ye in the end. Funny enough that when we speak about riding something, for example, skiing, skating, we refer it as means of transport, and we use на and е at the end. So кататься на лыжах, кататься на коньках, skiing, skating, кататься на велосипеде, cycling. In general, the verb кататься we use when we go really for fun. Yeah? So riding. We don't have a destination in mind. Just do it for fun. Кататься. Да? Хорошо. Ну что ж, да? Ах, лыжи, plural. Again, that pair of them. Yeah? That's why we use лыжах, ах for prepositional case. Коньки, again, pair of them. Коньках, prepositional. Hope it makes sense. If you have any questions, any further comments on that, maybe suggestions, if you probably would like me to explain it in a different way, please comment, please contact me. I always will be happy to hear from you, and that would be really useful for everybody. So do let me know. And now let's move to do some exercises. Okay, so prepositional case. We already looked through all these examples. So let's go for it. Итак, first example. I swim in the sea. Я плаваю в, again, море, my location. Yeah, already there. Do I need to do anything? I keep it as it is. Absolutely correct. Я плаваю в море. Next example. I walk at the beach. What would we put in the end? You tell me. На пляже. Correct. Well done, guys. Он путешествует на. He is traveling by. Means of transport, prepositional case. We have preposition here. Singular. What will be the ending? Yeah, correctly. Well done indeed. Let's move on. Они работают в сад. They are working in the garden. Now, what do you remember about those short words? This is the location where they are working. Okay. But it's a short word, so it can't be here. It should be у. Remember that? Они работают в саду. Хорошо, отлично. Let's move on. Next example. Она играет на. She is playing the saxophone. Musical instrument. We spoke about it. At the end, yeah. Хорошо, она играет на саксофоне. Хорошо, отлично. Move on. Он пишет о. Now, this is a tricky one, so let me comment on that. Дочь, мать, daughter and mother, third type of nouns, they are quite tricky to remember. So here we have a really complicating part of noun. So you need to say about daughter or дочери. You can make a little star in your notes and just remember it. It's exclusion. It's a completely different way of changing this verb. You need to remember that. Okay? Хорошо. Я рассказала, I told about news. Новости, plural here. What is the ending for plural? Prepositional. Who remembers? Correct. Ах, о, ях. Now, новости already soft on the end. We need to retain this and we say новостях. Okay? That's wonderful. Let's move to the next one. And again, we have here plural. Я катаюсь на... I am skating. I am riding skates. Коньки, again, plural. We change it into ах. Hard stem, that's why it's not ях, it's ах. Хорошо. Let's move to the next example. Студенты учатся в школа. Students study at school. Школа, what we do? Vowel, we don't need it. Get rid of it. Singular, so what will be the ending? Молодцы. Well done indeed. Those who are saying yeah. Хорошо. В школе. Next one, do you remember our borrowings? Excursion. Экскурсия. Хорошо, what we are doing? I was at excursion. Я была на экскурсии. Хорошо. Men are in shirts and trousers. Shirts and trousers, plural here. Let's correct it and put prepositional case for plural. What will it be? Say it. Correct. Рубашках и same. We change exactly the same way. И брюках. Молодцы. Well done. Fantastic. Next one. Let's say about a woman. Итак, женщина in a dress and in shoes. Okay? Женщина в платье. Да, we do keep this here. Don't need a second one. But туфли plural. Yeah? Who can tell me what it will be? Да, в туфлях. Well done. We had that example previously, да, when we discussed it. Fantastic. Хорошо. Next one. He lives in England. Англия. We spoke about it. Да? Country. We change it differently. Again, я changes into ii. Okay? That's why let's do it. Он живет в Англии. Хорошо. And the last example. Она работает в России. She works in Russia. Now that's for you. You do it. What do we say? How we say it? Она работает в России. Absolutely correct. Well done. Хорошо. Ну что ж, and that's probably it for today. Let's do a quick summary of what we learned today. We learned that prepositional case always used with a preposition. That's why it's called this way. Prepositions we use with prepositional case are о, об, обо, yeah? 3 variations, about, при, a little bit rare, but still we do use it. We need to remember that. And prepositions в and на. Normally в meaning in, на, at or on. We use prepositional case with sentences when we would say about something, with location, with points of the compass, with clothes, with musical instruments, with vehicles and means of transport, and with time. Very specific ones, да? Not like in the ones that we looked at accusative. Okay, bear that in mind. Ну что ж, I hope that this little video was helpful. I tried to cover as much as possible. Hope you enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your attention, for your enthusiasm. Always pleasure for me to see you. I will see you on my lessons, and if you have any questions, do ask. Okay, I want you to be using this grammar and understanding it well. So do let me know how it goes. And yeah, hope you have a nice day. Thank you for watching and see you shortly again. Пока-пока for now.